Anything to drink?
No, I'm fine.
Leonard, just to let you know, everything is being audio and video recorded in this room. You don't have a problem with that, do you? I'm sorry, would you
Not
speak
that
up?
I know of.
Okay.
I'm a soft speaker, so
All right, well, you have to use your playground voice today. But you don't mind us videotaping and audio
Nope.
recording this interview with you. Let's see, it is now 11:50 a.m. on Friday.
The 13th.
Oh, that's right. Friday, May 13th, 2005. My name is Special Agent Mahan with the Illinois State Police, and we are in an interview room on the second floor in Investigations Office of the Illinois State Police Headquarters in Collinsville, Zone 6 Investigations. Also in the room are Special Agent
Matt Vaughn, ID number 4957.
assigned to the Public Integrity Unit, and
Leonard Black.
Leonard Black. And Leonard, you came here on your own, didn't you?
I volunteered to come here.
Okay. And you drove down here in your personal car?
Yes, I did.
In fact, you have a visitor's tag around your neck, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And before we start, do you need to make a phone call? Do you need to use the restroom or anything?
No.
Okay. And you're not under, are you under doctor's care or anything? Do you need any
No.
special medications or anything?
I'm fine.
Have you been drinking at all today?
Don't drink at all.
Don't drink at all,
Thank
okay.
God.
You don't drink alcohol at all?
Don't get alcohol, right?
Okay. Other words, you haven't taken anything that would keep you from making an informed and sound decision
My
on
normal
anything?
medicine, Lipitor, and stuff like that. That's all.
Okay. All right. Before we get started, let's see. I need to fill out some personal history information on you.
Get started.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll go ahead and, since there's a lot of questions, but it's government work, we got to fill in all the boxes, and you're going to go, what in the world they need that for? Frankly, I don't know either, but we got to ask you. Do you still live there on 121 Valley Drive?
Yes.
How long have you lived there?
At least 25 years at least. I maybe off a few years.
That's fine. What's your home phone there?
345-0077.
Do you have a cell?
Yeah, but I don't know the number. You can maybe figure it out.
Nah, that's all
I
right.
got it, but I don't remember.
All right. How old are you?
67.
And where were you born at?
East St. Louis.
Excuse me. I noticed you have a pager on.
Yes.
Do you know your pager number?
Yes, 737-0067.
You got brown eyes?
Brown eyes, brown hair.
You got any tattoos?
Nope.
Any major scars from
Nope.
surgeries or anything like that? And are you just self-employed?
I'm retired and self-employed.
Okay. You're a lawn service. Do you have a name for it?
No, just Leonard Black.
Okay. And you run that out of your residence?
Yes.
And how long you been doing that?
More than 20 years.
Okay.
Where'd you work prior to that?
St. Clair County Highway Department.
Is that where you're retired from?
Yes.
And how long ago did you retire from there?
4 years. I guess I retired at 62, so I'm 65 years.
5 years ago?
5 years, that'd be right.
Around 2000?
Yeah.
Are you married?
Yes,
How many times have you been married?
just once.
Okay. We got to ask.
That's all right.
When was that?
That's all right. When was it?
Yes.
Oh man, let me think. 1956. my wife isn't listening to this.
Oh, where were you married at?
East St. Louis.
And what's your wife's name?
Doris.
And what was her maiden name?
Holdener. Holdener.
And you know her date of birth?
Yep. 4/3/40.
And she retired or homemaker?
She's disabled.
Okay.
Disability or whatever.
Okay, is your father still alive?
Nope.
Or mother?
Nope.
Okay. How about your father-in-law, mother-in-law? Either one of
Nope.
them?
Both have deceased.
Okay. Do you have any brothers and sisters that are
Yes.
still with us?
Brothers.
How many?
3.
Give me the 2 oldest if you would.
Kenneth and Donald.
Where's Kenneth live?
Kenneth lives in Prospect Heights in Chicago. And my brother, you're going to ask me where he lives. He lives in, I see his name, he lives in Wisconsin, but I don't remember the little town, the name. It's in Wisconsin, close to Green Bay.
Okay.
Maybe a suburb of Green Bay.
Okay. Do you have any kids?
5.
Okay, we need their names.
Okay, the oldest is Anthony or Tony.
How old's he?
49.
Okay. And the next.
Next is Susan. That's a good Catholic. She's
No. What's her last name?
Berkel. Berkel.
And she's
She
how
had
old?
to be 47.
Okay.
Okay. And the next one would be Karen. Karen Metcalf.
M-E-T?
Metcalf.
Okay. She's how old?
She'd be a couple years younger. 2 years younger.
45?
Yeah.
All right.
And I have Michael Black.
How old's he?
Okay, he'd probably be a couple more years younger.
You just staggered him out, huh?
Well, I told you I was a good Catholic then.
All right. And your youngest?
Then I have the last one, which we finally figured things out, I guess. He would be 30. His name is Craig.
Is that with the C or K?
C. You know, could I have a glass of water? My
Sure.
lips are really dry.
Sure,
I
not a
didn't
problem.
think I needed it. But
Not a
my
problem.
lips
I'll
are
go
real
get
dry.
you one.
But anyway, Craig, I'm going to say 37.
Okay. Yeah, that's why we asked you.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that's fine. I just don't know exact. I might be a year or 2 on him.
Oh, that's fine. Like I say, this is mainly just background stuff.
That's all right.
You ever been in the military?
Nope.
Can you read
Can I read? Yes.
and write?
Yes.
Are you a registered voter?
Yes.
In St. Clair, I'm assuming?
St. Clair.
Like I say, a lot of these things don't pertain, but we have to. You're not a union member currently, are you?
No.
And where did you go to high school at?
East St. Louis Senior High School. I was back when it was on 10th Street,
You remember what years that was?
1956.
Was it the last year? Is that year you graduated?
Yes.
You went there 4 years.
Well, I
I'm
didn't
assuming.
graduate. I got a GED. But I left. I would have graduated in 56.
Okay. How many years did you go there? 3?
So, well, I'd like to have a year of graduating, so it would have been
3
3
years.
and a half. Or 3.
Okay.
When I go 3, is it 3 years in high school? I don't remember.
Did you go to any college?
No.
Okay. Now, your lawn care business, do you have that as a sole proprietorship?
Yes.
Okay. And that's out of your home?
Yes.
You don't have any partners or anything
No.
with that?
No. Well, I guess you'd say my wife, but other than that,
Yeah.
no,
And
no.
I'm assuming
financial
you pay St. Clair County property taxes
Oh,
then
yeah.
too. All right. What's the name of your bank?
What is it in Caseyville? What's the name of the bank in Caseyville? First, is it Union?
Union Planners?
No.
No.
Do you remember in Caseyville what the bank? I mean, there's only one bank in town.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. It's the bank in Caseyville. That's not the name of it. But
Okay, do you have, what kind of accounts you got there?
checking account.
Is that all?
Yes.
You don't maintain cash in the safe deposit boxes anywhere, do you?
Nope.
Okay.
You don't hide any in the backyard, do you?
No, I like that. I think I'm supposed to have to start, I think.
Okay.
You've never been arrested or anything before, have you?
I don't think I've had a speeding ticket. I might have had one 20, 30 years ago.
This checking account at Caseyville, is that a personal account?
What's the business or personal? Everything goes into that.
Okay.
It's, right? No, I think, not tell you what, I think it is a business account.
Okay.
Because, yeah.
Do you have a separate one for paying the bills for the house and all that
Everything-
stuff?
Everything comes out of that, right there.
Okay. All right.
I mean, whoever pays us check, we put it in there, we just pay everything out of it.
Sure. Okay. When we talked to you there when you were mowing the lawns at the, was that the Western Inn?
First Western Inn.
There in Caseyville, correct?
Yes.
As I told you, we're conducting a criminal investigation, and we asked you to come here and meet with us, and you agreed to do that. Because it is a criminal investigation, I have to go over your Miranda rights with you. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read it off this form here, and then I'm going to ask me to tell you what you think that means.
You can follow along with it if you'd like.
And then I'll ask after you tell me what it means, and you understand it. I'll have you initial it. Are you able to see it, or do
Well, I
we
can
need the
see it.
glasses?
Well,
Okay.
I'm squinting, but I can make it out.
Okay. Here's a pen for you because you're gonna need to put your initials there. Also, did you get a drink of water
Yes,
already?
I got it.
Okay. You have the right to remain silent. You do not have to talk to us. Do you understand that?
Yes.
What does that mean to you?
Well, I would assume if I didn't want to cooperate, I'd have to get an attorney or whatever. I'm assuming that's what I would do.
Right. It means you don't have to
Yeah.
say boo to me,
Right, I understand.
and you can leave any time. So if you'd put your initials on that for me, please.
Just that I understand that.
Yes, sir.
After each one, we're going to ask you to kind of put it in your own words, just so we know that you understand what
Okay.
it is.
Okay. If you do talk to us, everything that you say can be used against you in court.
Okay, I understand.
Do you understand that?
Yes.
What does that mean to you?
Well, it means to me, whatever I say to you, that can be used against me, I guess.
Right.
Or whatever.
If you tell me something bad you did, I'm gonna tell other people.
Right. Okay, I understand.
All right. Number 3, you have the right to talk to a lawyer before you talk to us. The lawyer can be with you before we ask you questions. The lawyer can be with you during the whole time we ask you questions. Do you understand that?
I have a question about that.
Okay.
I'm not, I guess I'm a criminal, but I'm not sure how all this works, so, I mean, should I have an attorney? I mean, I'm gonna ask your advice.
Unfortunately, I can't give you advice.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to call an attorney of your choice,
Well, I
you're
don't
free
have
to
an
do
attorney.
that.
See, I'm not to have an attorney, but I don't know how serious the trouble I'm in right now.
Neither do I, because I haven't talked to you yet.
Right.
But if you're in any trouble at all, but you're welcome to
Yeah.
call an attorney of your choice. You're welcome. In fact, you can call anybody you want. You can call a friend and ask them. You know.
Or even partway during the interview, if you start thinking maybe you want to,
let me
you
ask
can.
Then if I get to the point where I say maybe I better have an attorney, can we stop then?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
well, I
yeah.
don't have any problem. Maybe I may need one. Maybe I can, you know, who knows? I don't know.
But you know, if you want to call an attorney,
Well,
I'll go get your phone book,
I don't
and we can
know-
do
I
that right
wouldn't
now.
know who to call, to be honest
Yeah.
with you.
In
I
fact,
understand.
we're getting to that one. That one's number
Okay.
5.
Oh, okay.
If you do not have money for a lawyer, one can be given to you for free.
Well, I know I'd have to have money because I wouldn't own my house and all that, so I'd have to have. I'm not an indigent or whatever you say.
Okay, do you understand what that means? So
Yeah,
if you can't,
I
if you
can't
can't,
afford it.
yeah, if you can't afford an attorney,
Right,
we'll get you one.
It depends on how high the attorney is.
But we would have
At this time, I think I can afford an attorney. If it
Okay.
had to be, I guess. I just cut more grass.
okay. Also, number 5, you can stop asking questions anytime you want.
Okay.
That means you can stop right now, you can stop
Well,
whenever, or if you want
try to cooperate the best I can.
to. Okay.
I'm
And
sure that.
I need you to put to sign it and put today's date,
Let's see. I gotta remember 13.
13. And then I'll sign it.
Because we make sure we do this like the way we're doing it. So we want you to be 100% sure you understand. But you can quit anytime you want to. You don't have to talk if you don't want to. That way you're comfortable. And if at any point you feel uncomfortable, you can quit. Since you're down here, because you're down here on your own. You know, you're not under arrest or anything.
Try to cooperate the best I can.
In fact, Leonard, I'm going to tell you, no matter what you tell me, you're not going to be arrested today. All I'm going to do, whatever you tell me, I'm just going to put it in a report, and I'm going to submit it to my superiors, and we're going to submit it to the state's attorney. He's going to look over it, and he's going to decide what he's going to decide.
I understand.
Okay.
That's why I figured that I should try to cooperate with you.
But you know, I'm just make sure you're willing to talk to us right now without an attorney present,
That's
correct?
That's correct.
And you understand that anytime you want to stop talking to us, or anytime you want to call an attorney or have an attorney come here,
Okay.
you can do that.
I understand that.
Okay. Let's see. You retired from St. Clair County back in 5 years ago, was it?
Well, I'm gonna say 5 years ago. I was 62, so take 38 to 62.
Don't make us do math.
No, well, that's why I'm not. I don't know, but that's what it was.
All right. And now, are you on the board of the Canteen Creek levee ditch
Drainage district.
district? How long ago were you appointed to that board, sir?
I'm gonna guess, and I'd be off a couple of years, but I'm gonna say 12 years.
Okay, you've been on that board for 12 years.
Right.
And the Canteen Creek Drainage Ditch Board, the district, and that's who appoints people to that position?
I was appointed by the county board chairman, St.
Which-
Clair County board chairman.
St. Clair County Board Chairman.
There's only 2 members of us, and there's one's appointed by Madison County, which is kind of odd because the district runs between St. Clair County and Madison County, so they have a representative, we have a representative.
Okay, so there's only two members on that board.
That's correct.
And when was the last time you were reappointed, sir?
That I was trying to look up, but I'm not sure when my appointment runs out. It's probably shortly, but it had to be. I'm not sure if it was a 4-year appointment or a 2-year appointment, but it'd be in that range.
Okay.
I'm not sure when it expired. It may expire shortly.
Do you serve on any other boards or commissions or committees?
No.
And you and I have never talked about anything we're talking about now, correct?
No.
I've never promised you nothing.
Nope.
Never threatened you.
Nope.
And like we said, you're here on your own accord, correct?
That's correct.
Today when we talked to you, you'd been doing some mowing. Were those government mowing jobs or private commercial jobs?
Private commercial jobs.
And you were being compensated by
For
the owners of those businesses
That's correct.
directly to you, correct?
That's correct.
And you had another individual with you. Who was with you today?
His name is Ron Filges, Filges.
Where's Ron live?
He lives in Caseyville.
Does he live right across the street from
Yes.
you? Okay. And how long has he been helping?
Trying to think, maybe 14 years.
Okay. Now, do you pay him cash,
No.
check,
Pay him, pay taxes, however I'm.
paycheck on?
Paycheck, and then it's all, my income tax,
Okay.
withhold the taxes and so forth.
Okay. And in your position with the Canteen Creek Levy Board, what are some of your responsibilities with the board, sir?
Well, when we started out, we took the district over. When we started out, it had hardly nothing. It was, you're familiar with the area here by Keller's Farm and that, or the racetrack here?
Mm-hmm.
That's the creek that runs through there.
Right.
And through the years, we were able to get grants, which we had no control of the money or nothing like that from the government grants. They redid the whole district. I mean, we're almost finished with it, all the way from Route 157 down to the interstate. That's the district right there. And you can see how it looks. It looks excellent compared to, it used to flood out down this area. Through the help of all the county officials and state and everybody officials, we got grants to do that, which was a lot of money, millions of dollars.
And so then,
But we don't get millions. It's all handled by the Corps of Engineers and so forth. We see no money.
so you don't disperse any of those funds or
No,
anything?
we don't get them.
You don't have any access? Where do the funds go, to the counties?
I think, well, the Corps of Engineers got the
Okay.
money, and then we or the county put up the other 25%, and how they disperse it, I'm not sure.
Okay,
But
do
I'm
you,
sure they did.
do you just go to meetings as the,
Yes.
that's all your responsibilities are,
Well,
is to
no,
go to
we
meetings and
did
make
as
decisions?
we went along. We had a lot of work and a lot of meetings, so we're getting this all done. And we cut out trees and we maintained the area. We maintained and mowed the area along the levee. We take care of.
Who does that?
Well, right now, we did it ourselves until late last year. I mowed it myself along where the recreation park is and so forth in Collinsville to keep it looking kind of neat. But now we have Larry Tricano from Collinsville Township have like an intergovernmental grant because they have the large equipment. We don't have the large equipment like 15-foot brush hogs. And we were hoping to get a grant for tractors and so forth, but the money is tight and there's no money available, so that's why we do that.
Okay. When you were originally appointed to the board, did they own any equipment at that time?
No.
Does
We
the
were just
board-
startup. We were just a startup. We don't have a building, an office or nothing. We just didn't really know where to go.
Okay.
We were new.
Do you have any, does the Canteen Creek District own any equipment at this time?
Well, I guess you'd say a few trimmers and a couple chainsaws or whatever we purchased. We owned that, yes,
How did you purchase those, sir?
through probably Herb Equipment or whatever.
Okay.
But a lot of times.
How was that equipment paid for?
Through Canteen Creek.
Who wrote the check then?
Well, myself and the other board member. We'd have a meeting and we'd discuss what we're gonna do, or the Corps would call us, the Corps of Engineer would call us and say, hey, we've got a couple of trees you gotta get out of the way or something like that. It wouldn't be a big project, and we wouldn't just go out and, subcontract it or something. We would just get in there and do it, knock it down, and that would be the end of it, and pull it out with a tractor or something. That's what we do.
Okay.
Because there's not a lot, because it was all new, there wasn't a lot of maintenance or nothing needed, because it's just been finished this year, I mean.
Right, but prior
Prior to that, we didn't do
98,
anything.
99.
Yeah, well, we would do pull logs and trees out, and stuff that get jammed up in there, but.
You
other
would
than-
physically do that yourself?
Oh, yeah, yeah. In fact, I think we got one now by Keller's to pull out of there,
Uh-huh.
do that, yeah.
And,
Well, we were
and,
just so small, we didn't know what to do.
and what would you use to do that with, sir?
Well, chainsaws or whatever. I sometimes my tractor or whatever. We didn't have equipment.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we do.
Okay.
So like I guess you'd say like a mom and pop operation till we didn't know where to go, and we were supposed to have been taken over by this East St. Louis sewer district there. That was probably when it originally set up. They were going to take our district over.
Mhm.
But then they seen all the problems involved, they didn't want them. So we just stuck with it, and that's it.
Okay.
So we were fortunate. The people in the area were fortunate.
Okay. So what was the process you went through when you said you bought some trimmers and stuff like that for Canteen Creek District, and that funds were paid by?
Well,
Where did those funds come from?
Well, there's what'd you call it, a levy? There's a tax or a levy placed on the
Mhm.
owners.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you call it a tax or a levy, maybe. I think it's a
Mhm.
levy.
An assessment.
Assessment. They pay into the fund every year. And then that's what pays the attorneys and pays the fees and pays whatever comes up, you know.
Okay, so when you would go make one of those purchases, you and the other board member would decide to make that
Right.
purchase.
Yes.
You would go make that purchase.
Pardon?
You would go make that purchase,
Yes.
and then who did you give the bill to?
Well, when we'd have our next meeting, we would just pay it, you know, look at it and pay it
How did you pay it?
with a check.
Okay, you have a checkbook for Canteen Creek District,
Yes, we do.
and where is that checkbook at, sir?
It's at my house because I'm the secretary treasurer.
What's
At
the
my-
other guy?
Well, he's the chairman. So there's just two of us, and one's the chairman and one's secretary treasurer. Well, that's
Okay.
it. I mean, because it's such a little district, there's nothing.
When was the last time those funds were audited, sir?
Well, J.W. Boyle is the accountant on it, and you'd have to check with them. But as far as I know, every form, everything it's it's up to snuff. They're
Okay.
a very reputable company, and that's who's got it. All of our statements, everything go to them, because we don't have anybody, no secretary, or any paperwork or anything goes to them.
Okay. Do you ever buy anything at Hartman Farm Supply?
No, I don't think I did ever buy anything. I don't remember buying anything.
Do you ever make
This
any
time I
personal
say no.
purchases?
I would think years ago I might have, but how many amount of years ago? Nothing to do with Canteen or
Since
anything.
'98.
No, I can't remember. At this time, I can't remember buying.
Okay.
Buy a lot of odds and ends stuff.
And Hartman Farm Supply, would you have made those purchases under the name of Leonard Black or under
Oh, it'd be under Leonard Black.
Canteen Creek?
I can't recall making anything that we would have bought. At this time, I can't remember that.
How about Belleville Seed House?
I buy the Belleville Seed House. Yeah.
What do you buy there, sir?
I buy nothing through Canteen. I buy it through Leonard Black. I buy Roundup, seed, fertilizer, and that.
Okay. And you pay taxes on all those
Oh, yeah.
items, sir? How about Shiloh Valley Equipment?
I have bought stuff out there, but I don't think I'm sure we ever bought at a Canteen. I had my tractor repaired out there. That was $5,000, and I paid for that in Leonard Black
How long ago was that?
last year.
Okay. And then we have Herb Equipment located in Belleville, Swansea, isn't it? I think it has a Swansea
Whatever,
address.
Swansea, yes.
But I think on their thing it says Herb Equipment Belleville. It's actually a Swansea address.
That's correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Have you ever purchased equipment from them?
Yes.
And equipment you purchased there, did you purchase it under Leonard Black or Canteen Creek Drainage?
Well, the tractor you looked at, that you mentioned to me, I did purchase that under Canteen Creek. However, I paid for it myself, because I traded another tractor in on it.
And where did that tractor come from?
It came from a company called Outdoor Equipment in St. Louis. It was purchased under Leonard Black.
Okay,
$30,000 for it.
$30,000.
And I had to wind up giving $6,000 in that tractor for this one.
Okay, so the tractor we're talking about right now it's a Turf Tiger, correct?
Turf Tiger, I think that's what it is, yeah. It's a Skaggs Turf Tiger.
Right. And that one you bought from Herb Equipment. You traded your own personal equipment in,
Right.
but you bought that under the name of Canteen Creek, correct?
Yes.
I'm handing you a receipt dated, or a bill of sale basically dated April 18th of 2002. That's 2002. Yeah. Do you remember the salesman that you bought the Turf Tiger from?
No, I don't.
Okay. This receipt is 38869 is the invoice number. Herb Turf Equipment invoice number is 38869.
Oh, I think I do remember Randy. Okay.
Okay. And that's for one Skag
That's some more that you looked at.
Turf Tiger with a
that's
72-inch deck, right?
That's correct.
And it says the serial number on this one is 68400059 on that Skag Turf Tiger.
I'm assuming. that's
And they're
correct.
saying the serial number on the deck is, it looks like 680020.
I'm assuming that matches mine. I didn't look.
I'm
assuming
not
that-
sure. And it shows a price of $14,999
Yes,
right there.
yes, it does.
And it says
Cushman.
wide area mower,
Yeah, that's some more I traded on it.
and they gave you $7,909 or $7,999 with a 7,000 balance.
Probably is something like that.
Okay.
Whatever. I'm pretty close.
And over here, you see a thing where it's marked GD.
I don't know what that would be.
GD $983.92.
Yes, I know. That doesn't ring a bell for some.
It's in parentheses, like it's taken off the amount. Would government discount match up with that?
Oh, it possibly could. I'm not sure. That's probably what it could be.
Government discount of $983.92.
It could be.
Do you see anything on? And this was a charge, correct?
Yes.
Do you see anything on there where there was a sales tax or anything on this purchase?
Well, if it wasn't, I think it would be up to them why they didn't do it, because they knew everything about it. I'm assuming it was all done the way it was supposed to be done, because I just didn't know any different.
Is that your signature on the receipt there, sir?
Yes.
Okay.
With that Turf Tiger, is that your, I don't know if you say your primary mower that you use for your
Yes.
private business?
Yes. That and that other one you saw there, that hard price.
Okay. Here's another item under Canteen Creek District. This invoice number is 38868, dated 17th of April 02, and it was charged. It's a John Deere weed trimmer for $319.99.
Yes.
And your name signed receiving that, correct?
That's correct.
Do you still have that trimmer, sir?
Yes, I would.
Do you use that for your your
It
trimming business?
It could possibly use it, and I could not, because I just bought a new one yesterday or day before in my name.
Right.
Same brand, same name. It could be that it got mixed up. I probably have 10 trimmers or 15 trimmers.
Is it
There's
safe
12
to say
trimmers.
probably you've used every piece of equipment in your shed for your personal business?
Probably have, yes.
Yeah. So when you go to load up your equipment, you don't look at it and say, well, this is Canteen Creek Drainage District or Leonard
Well,
Black.
I try to set it aside. Yeah, I try. I mean, we don't use ours that often. You know, in case
Mhm.
there's an emergency or something like that. That's the only time I use it. try to not to use it any more than what we have to, I guess. I mean, a lot of times we volunteer our time and everything. I guess I thought I was doing it right.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
But it shows a $64 discount and a total price of $255.99.
That's correct.
And that's, it's hard to read, but it looks like government bid.
Right.
All right. And that's your signature right there.
That's correct.
How about this one here? It's a 48-inch mower. It's an LX 188. Do you know what an LX 188 is?
I would think it's
Is
probably
that a John
small.
Deere?
I would assume so, yes.
Okay. This was a purchase made back in March 14th of 2002
I guess it was.
to Canteen Creek District for $1,250. And then a number 10 cart tag.
Yeah, looks like it to me.
But what is a cart tag, sir?
I guess it's, I'm assuming that it's a little trailer or something that you pull behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You ever use this in your
No.
personal business?
Never.
And there's no tax on this one, is there?
Right, I don't see any of them.
And the total amount is $1,479. And this one was signed by,
He's the other board member,
and who is that?
Jerry Davis.
Okay.
Do you know what that mower's used for?
Well, that's a smaller mower, but we would use it around the recreation area. You're not familiar with Collinsville Recreation Area?
Mm-hmm.
Back in that area there with those smaller, because we just need a bigger mower for the heavy stuff, and that seemed to fit in real good, I guess.
Do you keep that in your shed, or does he keep it at his place?
I think he keeps it at his place.
Okay. Here's another one. It's a receipt dated the 19th of July 2001, and it's for a John Deere weed trimmer,
Right.
serial number MC003107776,
Yeah.
for $339.99.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then there says a government discount
Correct.
of $40, correct?
Yes.
For a total bill of $299.99.
That's correct. I'm sure
You
still
ever-
got it. I mean,
Do you ever
I have
use
it
this
and
one in your?
Well, I'd say
Go to your-
yes, it's a possibility. I've used it, and not knowing that I use it or whatever, just picked it up and ran with it.
This next one is a purchase dated 11th June of 2001, and it's for an HT 75 Still pole pruner
Yep. Yeah, I know
for
them.
$549.95.
Yeah, we've got them.
And then another still pole pruner. You got two of them
couple
at
of
that
them, yeah.
time, and the total bill was $1,099.90
Right, that sounds right.
with a 20% discount and a balance of $879.92.
That's probably right.
You ever?
That I can't ever remember using any other than it's long gas. We use it over at on the creek.
Okay, you've never used this.
I can't ever recall using that. And
Have you ever loaned it to anybody to use or anything?
no, not that I know of.
Okay. None of the boys ever came over and, hey, Dad, I need to
No,
I need to
my
trim a
kids
tree.
They don't work like that.
He wouldn't come over and say, "Hey, I got to cut a branch down, pops.
They don't
Can I
have
use
new
that?"
houses, no trees, I think.
Okay.
They don't,
Now this one is dated March 21st
right,
of 2001 under the Village of Caseyville.
right.
What were you purchasing for Caseyville?
Maybe I didn't say that. I'm what they call a village sexton, and I take care of the Caseyville Village Cemetery. This mower was gotten on a grant for the cemetery. They bought it, and this is where the sticky part comes in, I guess you'd say. And I don't mind because it all comes out sooner or later. They bought this mower, and it's a zero-turn mower, but it doesn't work on the hills. The Caseyville Cemetery is full of hill. Ron, who drives, and you can call him right now, I haven't talked to him, you can ask him what tractor he drives. We can't use it at the cemetery. It's dangerous. And so we've been using my tractor. I have an 855 John Deere, bought from myself through Herb years ago, and we've been using it. And the village is supposed to furnish me with a tractor and expenses and repairs and trimmers and things like that. So they did, but they bought the wrong mower. So what did we do? I just used my tractor out there. So I've worn out my tractor up there, and they have this tractor here. Now, have I used this on my private stuff? Yes, I have used this because I only felt fair that if they're wearing out my tractor, I should wear out their tractor. But I haven't got that many hours on it. I don't hardly ever use that tractor because it's not the one I use, the one that out there. I haven't.
Did you discuss that arrangement with anybody?
Not really, because I'm not on good terms, I guess you'd say, with the village or whatever.
But you've been doing that for a few years now, haven't you?
20 years, I think.
No, I mean using this tractor.
Well, off and on, I've used it. Yes.
Since it was purchased in 01.
Probably so. Yes.
And did you ever? I'm sure you were on good terms then. They
Well,
allowed
I'm
you
on
to
good
go buy
terms when I
it.
discuss something like this here. It would be just, I guess I never ever do it. Ron liked the other tractor, and I thought, well, what the hell? We'll just go ahead and keep him happy.
And this is Ron who?
Ron Philbus that works for me, that helps me out.
Oh, okay.
So he's been with me all those years.
Does he also work at the cemetery?
No. Well, yeah, he cuts the cemetery. He helps
Okay.
me with the cemetery, and I trim and do things like that. Well, let's
Okay.
get-
And you get paid for doing that?
Yes, from the village of Caseyville.
All right. Who authorized the purchase under the Village of Caseyville?
I guess I would assume the mayor probably.
Who paid for this?
This village of Caseyville.
They paid for this?
Yes.
And where's this tractor at?
This is my place.
It's at your residence?
Yes.
Did anybody give you permission to keep it at your residence?
I just kept the tractors there all for 20 years. I didn't know that it officially was, that's just the way it was done.
Does Caseyville have a garage?
Do they have a garage? They do have a garage.
And they keep equipment there and stuff? Who
I-
mows the public areas?
They have a person to mow the park and so forth with a different type of mower.
And is he an employee of Caseyville or is he a contractor?
He's an employee.
Okay. Do you know what kind of mower he uses?
I think it's a John Deere. It's I know what kind it is. I don't know the model number or whatever.
Do you know if the authorities have you ever discussed this more with any of the authorities from Caseyville?
No, and I kind of tell you why, because no, I haven't. They have a cemetery board and a city board, and I only more or less, I guess, I take my orders from the cemetery board.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I deal with. People die and all that. I just take care of it. I do that, and then the village, and they are the in between to the village board. So if I have any problems, I go to them. I don't go to the village board.
Okay. But you never discussed this tractor with anybody, even the cemetery board?
Oh yeah.
You discussed this tractor
But
with
I
them?
think it was just a thing like everything else. We just kind of put aside. You just do the best you can.
Sure.
They
Who-
didn't have any money back in then to buy another tractor or what to do.
Okay. How did you become the sexton for the
Oh,
village of Caseyville?
I don't know. Gosh, I don't know. Cause I cut grass. I was cutting grass, I think. And yours, I remember. We were talking like what, 22 years ago, something.
Is that how long you've been sexton?
Yeah, maybe 22 years ago. I cut grass, and I guess at that time not everybody cut grass. And they said, "How would you like to do the cemetery?" I think the Caseyville board, not the board, the cemetery board came to me and told me that. And asked me if I'd like to do that. Well, I didn't know. I just did it, and that's how it got started. So that's how I got started with that.
Okay. Who approved this purchase?
Well, I'm assuming, since it's paid for, I'm assuming that the village, city board approved it. I guess the village board, the cemetery board probably went to the village board, and the village board probably approved it, I guess. That's how I'm assuming it went.
Do you know who paid for this?
I don't know who paid for it, but I'm assuming that, I'm sure that Caseyville paid for it.
Did you turn
Yeah,
when you made the purchase?
Yeah.
Did you turn this
I give it to the cemetery
a
board.
bill?
Yeah,
Who's on the cemetery board?
A lady by the name of Ada Nussman.
I'm sorry.
Ada Nussman.
Ada, is that AI?
ADA, and it's KNUSSMAN.
And she lives in Caseyville?
Yes.
She's on the cemetery board. Who else?
I think there's only two on there too now. The other one is Robert Stevens. Don't know his number, but he lives in Collinsville. He lives on Rain Tree Lane. I know that much.
Okay. Now, how much do you get paid for maintaining the lawn and stuff at the
I
cemetery?
think it's $4,800.
A year?
A
They
year.
just give you a flat.
Well, I
amount.
I get my check from the city now. The city pays, somehow the arrangement is, the city pays, I think, half.
The
my
city
check.
of Caseyville?
Yes, they pay half my salary, and the village cemetery, I think, pays the other half. I think that's how it works.
Okay.
But I get my check from the city of Caseyville
Okay.
monthly.
Now, do you also seed when
I
a
seed,
cemetery,
seed
weed and
the-
feed and all that stuff?
Well, we don't do too much. I dig the graves with my own little John Deere backhoe that I bought in my name.
Mhm.
And I do dig in the graves.
Is there a separate fee for opening the graves?
Yes.
And you receive that from?
Yes, from our city, wait a minute. I should receive that check from the village, from the cemetery board.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much do you get paid for opening the grave?
$250.
Okay. And that John Deere that you opened that one, that you opened the graves with,
Yeah.
where did you purchase that?
From Herb Equipment,
Uh,
about 15 years ago, under Leonard Black.
okay. Here's one for Canteen Creek drainage. It's for a John Deere 214. What's a JD 214?
This might have been, I can't really speak, because this could have been one that was traded in on that other one
Later on?
later on, or whichever date. One of them was one way and they traded on the other one.
Okay, but this was $1,200 was paid for it, correct?
That's what the ticket says, yes.
And it says balance due $1,200. Do you see anything on there about taxes?
No. Because it was never used for anything, but I would assume for the district.
You don't see anything on this receipt about taxes?
No, I don't see it.
It says tax exempt.
I'm sure they are, the district is tax exempt.
Okay. Do you know what a 214 gear?
No. I don't know what it is.
You don't know what that is?
No, I do not know.
Okay. Here's a I don't, it's a trimmer. What kind of trimmer is that, sir?
Shindawa.
Shindawa?
Yeah.
What kind
Some
of
of those
trim?
got blades on them for cutting little
Little saplings?
and so forth on a different kind. And that was used for that. I don't have one of those. I didn't
Okay.
mind. I mean, I guess I've probably got it. I'd say I probably have it.
But you never used it.
I can't recall using that one. I don't use that kind.
How about this one dated June 2nd of 2000? It's a John Deere walk-behind mower. It's an SX 75.
See, I don't know nothing about this here. I actually do not know nothing about that. I don't know that, we have never bought a walk-behind mower. The district has never bought one that I know of. Mine was a walk-behind that you saw there, but that, we never did ever have one. I have another hard price, just like that one there.
I'm
but
sorry,
I never had bought none.
This is a JX 75, not an SX.
Well, either way, I think it would have to be a mistake in putting the walk behind on it, but I'm not sure about that. But we have never purchased a walk behind one.
Okay.
That would have to be, we'll have to get with the dealer and find out what we really got or whatever. I don't know. But I've never used
There's
it.
a
I've never
serial
used
number
it.
here of GX, looks like JX75X 061198 X, I think. And a tag number, it looks like D04587.
That's one we'd have to run that down somehow.
All right. Would you have anything like this at your residence?
No.
How many pieces of equipment from John Deere do you have?
How many do I have?
Mm-hmm.
A bunch. I have the John Deere 855 that I use with a little backhoe attachment on it. I have another John Deere 855 with attachment on it. I bought a sprayer with it. It's my stuff. And, I have a couple walk-behinds, another Skags that I sit on.
At the Canty Creek drainage, did you ever use an edger? What would you use an edger for at the Canteen Creek?
I can't recall what we use an edger for now. Unless there was one with the attachment on it to for the shrubs or something.
Here's a document dated the 18th of May 2000 for Canteen Creek. Okay. Is that your signature at the bottom?
Yes.
Over here it says GD of $39. Up here it says a government discount of $78 for a total of $311.99. There's doesn't show any taxes being charged here either.
That one I'll have to hold on, look back and see when was that dated, I don't know.
18th of May 2000.
Yeah.
Randy sold it to you again.
Oh, yeah. I'll
But
have to look that one.
but normally
Well,
you wouldn't use a trimmer for the creek. You know, a
Unless it
trimmer's
was
something
a
you usually use in
trimmer
commercial
edger,
work.
because they're all the same.
Okay.
All they do is turn the head sideways and put a blade on them and they're edger.
Well, don't
Whatever.
some of them have a different kind of head
Yes.
for doing edging?
Some
Ones
of them do,
those
yeah.
that are specifically
Right.
designed
But they make
for
the
edging.
attachments for whatever, you can
Yeah.
put anything you want on the end of them.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
You can put, for shrubs or whatever on the end of them.
Now back in April 19th of 2000, it's a border edger kit
I could have went
for
on-
$34.99.
I don't, when was it? I can't recall what it was for. That I can't recall.
Oh, I'm sure. But what would a border edger kit be used for?
See, I don't know. I'd have to look that number up and see what it was. Because even though it's called a border edger kit, it could have been something else other than a border edger kit. It could have been used for something else. Now, I don't know. I'd look that number up and then come back and see what it was, and if I've got it or whatever.
Okay.
You don't have a whole lot of finishing work for the drainage district, do you?
Not a whole lot, no. It's all rougher work.
How many mowers does the drainage district have?
How many? Not many.
The drainage district doesn't have any mowers?
Well, I had that, well, I'll take it back, that little one or whatever. I think
The
that's
little
it.
John Deere?
Yeah.
It doesn't have any
Little
others
bit.
besides that?
Mhm.
How many mowers do you have?
Well, man, I don't know. I just say got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 5 maybe or so.
Okay.
How many?
What kind of mower is this?
What is that?
Looks like a back tool or something.
Vector. Oh, we do have that. Tell you what, that I do have that more. That's the Levy District had. We had a couple of them, and we've got them. What they are is it's still. I remember seeing how they use it so long. It's got the wheels on it. It's like one that goes around and it cuts saplings and so forth. You use
Like
it
a
as
bush hog?
Well, no, not like. Well, I guess it's only 24 inches wide. But what they are, they're real simple and easy to repair. And you use them where there's saplings or on the hills where other mowers can't get. And they, yes, we do have that.
Okay.
A couple of them.
Right, and this is for 2 of them, and in
Yeah.
fact they were $16.99 a piece.
Yeah, we've got them. And that's what I've never used. I don't use that on my stuff.
But then there was a lawn head that was purchased at the same time,
Well, it's
plus
probably-
at the same time a
That's correct.
26-inch commercial head.
That's probably correct. Yeah, that's there within. One of them is for bigger stuff. It has fingers on it like this here, and when you run into trees, it knocks them off.
Right.
Okay, and the other one is for like we use over there at the recreation park. We're on the bank, and and it's not a finish mower, not. It's for rougher cutting.
Okay.
It's a crude looking outfit.
And Canteen Creek Drainage District on here, what's the address it shows for?
120.
In fact, on all these for Canteen
Well, that's
Creek.
because that's where the bill goes to them. That's where we pay it out of.
Okay. And it says customer order number. What number is that in the customer order number?
Oh, that's my phone number.
Okay. So you never had individual purchase orders or anything for any of these equipment?
No, we don't have that kind of a book.
So if you wanted to, you could go buy any piece of equipment you want, basically.
Probably could.
Uh,
If it was needed, we would discuss it and see whether it was needed or not,
but if you wanted to purchase something without even discussing, you could do
Right.
that.
Yes.
Here's another
Yeah.
yard trimmer. It's what kind is that?
Garden, yeah.
Shindawa.
It's probably so.
That was purchased on 7/19/99 from by Canteen Creek Drainage.
Probably still got it. Probably one's wore out or whatever, but we still
Right.
got that. I guess we'd still have. I'd have, like I say, some of them back here. We just have to get the numbers.
Okay.
They only last so long when you beat them up.
Pardon me?
When you beat them up and everything.
Here's another one that shows a discount of $40. Shindawa trimmer. This was purchased on 6/28/99. And that's ticket number 34037. The ticket we looked at earlier for a Shindawa yard wear trimmer was dated July 19th, 99, and that was 34167 was the invoice number on it. So here in right around a 20-day period, you bought,
Couple of them? That's possible.
and this was in 99. Did you have a lot of projects going then?
That's
Do
when
you
we were
remember?
working with the Corps of Engineers when they were going through there, and we'd have to do for the surveyors, surveying team.
Uh-huh.
Come through there, and we'd have to clear out areas so they could survey.
My concern, sir, is that, you know, when I stopped at Herb Equipment, remember the piece of machinery that we bought way back here?
Yes.
It was the piece of the Turf Tiger, in fact, that we looked at today,
That's true.
that you bought on April 18th of '02 on invoice 38869. When I got this was things showing how it was paid for, and on this there was a check, Canteen Creek, for $3,510, and then there was also a credit card used to
That was on mine.
pay $5,437.79.
Probably right, yeah.
Okay. Was this a Canteen Creek credit card, or was it a
No,
Leonard
it's
Black
not
credit
Leonard-
card?
Leonard Black credit. We don't have no credit cards or nothing.
Okay, so this was your personal credit card?
Yes. I guess
Were you ever reimbursed
No,
that money?
no.
Why?
Why? Because I bought it myself.
Oh.
Got the car on a credit card, yeah, bought the tractor myself and paid the difference.
Okay, but at the same time, on the same date, there was a check issued. It says Canteen Creek. Was this a Canteen Creek check, or was it a Leonard Black check that was for $3,510?
I don't know. It probably was Canteen Creek, but must have been for other purchases or something that I'm thinking of.
But see, you still had a balance of $7,000 that you owed on this item.
I don't know, I can't answer that right.
So,
I don't know why.
is it possible that some of this money on Canteen Creek check was to pay for this?
I wouldn't know
this
how it would
purchase?
be there, how it would do that. I know. Not to my knowledge, no, because I paid the difference. The only thing is I can say is the ticket had to be, the ticket ain't messed up, but something about the figures aren't adding up here. Why wouldn't I went ahead and, I mean, to my own knowledge, why wouldn't I go ahead and pay the difference? It made no difference to me. If
Mhm.
the charge 5,000 or 7,000. No,
Well,
I'm not gonna do that.
on repairs though, here's everything that's been built to Leonard Black for repairs at Herb Equipment. And this shows repairs dating back from September 28th, 1994 was the first entry. And the last entry was for April 20th of 2005. And it shows that there would be ROAs right here. You'll see ROAs. Do you know what that means?
No. What's the
Received
name?
on account. That means you charge, okay, and then you would come in and you'd pay, like on this received on account here,
That's it.
October 13th of '94, they received on account an amount of,
Okay. Yeah, I see that.
okay. Now, would you do that with your personal check, or with your private business check, or was that with Canteen Creek checks?
I don't know, not with Canteen, I would go ahead and, we pay, I mean, my stuff that I bought, I paid through mine with my check, cause I just sent them a bill yesterday, the day before on my check. But, I'm sure.
Sent who a bill?
Or, yesterday or the day before, I think, or we got ready to send it, or sent it, I guess. But, these could be repair tickets or parts tickets to keep the equipment going. I'm not, without me
To
seeing, I
keep
can't see.
Canteen
but-
Creek
Yes,
equipment running?
right, and see, I had, I don't know if they get this mixed up or not, but I have an account there. I'm not saying they did or didn't. I have an account there. Kaysville Cemetery has an account there. Sometimes Canteen Township would get confused with us, and so would the city of Kaysville had. There's four. I have like 4 accounts. But whether any of them got mixed up or not, I kind of doubt it. But I have had calls from time to time.
Did you ever purchase any equipment at Herb under Leonard Black?
Yes.
What equipment did you purchase there under Leonard Black?
Well, I would think, well, I told you all my tractors, I just really think back what I.
Well, see here. Let me. According to Herb Turf Equipment, Canteen Creek Drainage purchased on 12/29/04 a Stihl BG85 handheld blower.
Yeah,
What would Canteen Creek use a blower for?
well, it would probably blow off the equipment and so forth. I mean, that's what I always do when I get done with mine. I take my blower and blow the equipment off.
The blower you were using today to blow some of the grass trimmings around.
Yeah.
What blower was that
That
today?
was a steel,
Okay, where did that one come from?
come from Herb.
Is that possibly this one?
It's possible, yes.
Okay,
And I have 2 more in the truck. I guess I just loaded it and grabbed it.
okay. Then on August 19th, 2004, there was a John Deere riding mower, an SX 75 that was purchased.
That was, I think, that ticket you showed me.
No, this is in 04. These tickets only go up to 02.
Was it? What was it?
And an SX, that's the one where it's rear, got the engine in the back. You know, it's a little long.
Oh, okay. That could have been when he traded, I guess, off on that one there, maybe.
No,
I
this
didn't
one was
purchase it.
purchased in August of 04
Yeah, that's not.
for $600.
Yeah, that could be for over there. Not for me.
Over where?
For the recreation area, I guess, or whatever. But I don't know nothing about that.
Where's that one at?
It's not a Jerry Davis. It's
The
Jerry-
SX 75.
I would assume that.
Where's Jerry Davis live?
On Botanical in Caseyville.
Botanical in Caseyville. Do you know the house numbers there?
I sure don't. I guess.
Okay.
First block of that.
Also, there was a Deere XT 120 trimmer purchased on April 30th of 04 for $229. That was a XT 120 trimmer.
Right.
Okay. Then there was a chainsaw with a 16-inch bar purchased in 02. In fact, there were 2 of them purchased, and those were a total of $192.
What was it?
Chainsaws, Stihl
Yeah.
chainsaw with
Yeah.
16-inch bar.
That's possible.
And then there was a John Deere straight shaft trimmer, Red Max straight shaft trimmer was also purchased, a Shadawa brush cutter, a Skag Sabertooth Tiger turbo diesel.
That's the one we were looking at.
Right, that's the one
Yeah.
we looked at earlier. That was bought in 02. Another straight shaft trimmer, John Deere utility cart, a used John Deere LX 188 with 48-inch deck.
I think that's the one you.
Here's another John Deere trimmer, a still pole pruner, another still pole pruner, a used John Deere 214 tractor. That was purchased in 2000.
Probably the trade-in or whatever we said it was.
Another Shindawa shaft trimmer. But see, a lot of these are not real big
Right.
commercial equipment, are they?
Yes. I think it
But
is.
I mean, for the levy, it's pretty
pretty
heavy
rough.
duty, rough work. Not like these are more like lawn mowers. Like you would do a
Well,
real
the
nice,
recreation area is.
or like a ballpark, or
Yeah,
like
no,
a
right.
ball diamond.
Right.
Things along those lines. Not
Right.
something you'd be running up and down a levee with,
Right.
are they?
Not that smaller one, no.
Same way with you got the Bechtold weed mower.
Well, those are really geared up for that.
Right. Here's a Shindawa saw. Here's a flex shaft trimmer. A Mantis tiller. What would a Mantis tiller be used for?
I have no idea.
That was purchased in '99.
I'm
Are
not
you
sure
a-
about that.
Are you a gardener, Leonard?
Not a gardener. I'm a gardener. But you seen my garden? Well, you didn't see it. I have a bigger tiller. I'm in front back of my tractor.
Yeah. You signed for it, Leonard.
Yeah.
It's invoice number 33407 is the Mantis tiller. Is that your signature?
Yes, it is.
What was the tiller used for?
Well, I don't know why what it was. I bought this, and I don't know why that they didn't put it on my ticket. That I've got, and that's a personal item right there. And I don't know that they do mix up or I paid for it or what on this one here, because I wouldn't use that on the levy. It's a little bitty tiller, a small tiller.
Right.
So I can just say that has. I don't know what this shouldn't have been paid for or whatever by the district.
But you'll notice there's no sales tax on that either.
I
is there?
probably didn't notice it.
And here's the problem, Leonard. When I check their records,
Yeah.
here's all the equipment that you purchased under Leonard Black. See any equipment numbers or anything there?
I know.
It's because they don't show anything purchased by Leonard Black under the name Leonard Black. Everything's been purchased under Canteen Creek.
Well,
Now, all kinds of repairs they have listed for Leonard.
well,
Okay, all kinds of repairs.
okay.
And Leonard, I'm not saying you're a bad guy, and I'm not saying you're a deceitful person or a mean person or anything like that. But did you maybe just go make these purchases under Canteen Creek because you knew then that way you wouldn't have to pay sales tax and it wouldn't be a big deal?
No, I wouldn't have done that because I think I'm financially able to pay my way as I go. I'm a very generous person. I donate well to everything, and $100 or $500 doesn't really mean anything to me. It means
Does to me.
Well, it means something to me because I'm out there working for it.
Right.
But through the years, I've just had so much equipment. I have way more trimmers than what we're talking about here, and I've repaired them. I've given them away, let other people use them, or whatever. I don't
Sure.
normally don't repair them. I just go ahead and get another one, and I keep saying I'm going to fix them in the winter time or something. I don't do it. But to be dishonest to do all this, I just don't think I'm that type of person. I just not out to make a buck that way.
Well,
For all the work we've donated and time we put in down there.
well, and that's what I'm saying. Maybe you just feel that, hey, I use my own personal equipment down there. I've donated time.
I told you I did feel that way about the city equipment. I mean, that one tractor, I felt that way. That I felt that that's wrong what they did there, but I just went along with the program.
Okay. But you know, in regards to, it's really not a big deal. I mean, after all,
It's a
you're
big deal. I
you're
wanna
using
do
your
it.
own equipment, and that. So if I get a discount, I mean, the government's going to use it anyway, right?
I don't understand the question.
I'm just saying, the way you commingle things, you know, use your own personal stuff on the levee and all that stuff. So,
Well,
you know, I'm going to use it at the levee. So why not take it a 20% discount, or why not pay sales tax? I'm going to use it there, even though I'm paying for it.
Right. But I don't really feel that way though. But I feel like I don't charge you nothing for storage. They don't have it set up. You know, it's just not a good situation. But now, it shouldn't be mingled in together. I'll grant you that. I agree with it. It shouldn't be mingled in together. But right now, until we can get this thing straightened out, this district, I don't know how to solve it right now. Other than I'm certain I'll be off the board, and that's fine. I'll be off the board. They do, but it should be a better system, is what I'm saying.
Oh, and you've been on the board how long, sir?
Well, I'm just saying 12 years or 10 years.
12, 14 years.
Right. But there was not a lot, we were just going through different phases of things
Sure.
that we were doing.
Did you and Mr. Davis ever discuss keeping the equipment someplace?
Well,
Other
we
than
thought-
at your
yeah,
residence?
Yes, but then we were so short of money all the time that we should probably, where would we put it? Would we put it in Collinsville? We thought about putting it in Collinsville. We had to rent a place, $300 or $500 a month. We didn't know what was going to happen to the district, whether somebody would take us over. We didn't have the money to buy a building to store all the equipment. We don't have a secretary or that. It should get to the point now where, since we're done with these phases, we have one more phase to go. It should be taken over by someone else. I don't know how to do that. It's way above me.
Did you ever have any discussions on maybe getting with Caseyville or the city of Collinsville,
Yes.
or even St. Clair County or Madison County, and letting you use one of their buildings to store your stuff in?
No, we didn't do that, but we were in discussion with Caseyville. They did do it one time, do some work for us with their heavy equipment and so forth, but we didn't. No, we didn't do that.
You know, ask them,
That's
to,
probably a good
because they got the
question.
big sheds and everything.
That would be an option. I don't know why we didn't do that. We should have done that maybe.
Then that way it's not commingled with your
Right.
stuff, and then
That
when
could
you go
probably-
get it, you definitely know you're getting their stuff and
could
not
be a
your stuff.
Possibility, the solution to maybe to this. Uh,
Is it possible a lot of this stuff was just well, you already said, like on the Skag here, the last one you bought,
Yeah.
the one you were using today on the
Yeah.
commercial property. Now you paid for that with your own funds, correct?
As far as I know, yeah, I can't. Yes.
Right. Well, in fact, the one charge card we have
Yeah.
was
Sure.
for $5,000 some odd dollars,
Yeah.
and but that was purchased under Canteen Creek.
Well, the salesman I bought it from, he knew what was going on, and he should have advised
What do you mean, what
me
was
from-
going on?
Not going on. He knew that I was trading my own mower in on that mower. He should have told me this. You can't do this, because I didn't know any different. I'm not the most smartest person in the world, but I just say that. Well, they should. I got to go by advice. You know what I mean? I take
Well,
advice.
you may not be the most worldly person in the world,
Yeah.
but you're not dumb.
Oh, really?
No, you're not dumb, and you're not stupid, Leonard.
I didn't try to be dumb or stupid. I mean, I did.
Well,
I
I'm
think
just
there's
saying,
a-
you knew that this was
No, I
being
didn't
run
do
under
that.
Canteen
No,
Creek.
I did not. No, sir. No way did I.
Leonard, you signed the receipt.
Well, I may have signed it, but I didn't know
You
it.
didn't look up here and see that it was Canteen Creek?
I said I
Green?
signed that. Yes.
Well, then you knew it was being sold under the idea that it was the government that was buying it, not Leonard Black.
Well, here's what I'm saying. A salesman should have told me this isn't the way that you can do this. Because I don't know any difference. If you come to me and tell me what you're telling me now, I have to believe you. And I do believe a lot of people I shouldn't believe in. And I believe that I was doing right. I thought I paid for everything I did. Maybe I overlooked something or didn't do something.
Let me make sure that I just understand this correctly. You knew this was being, that it was being held, in fact, then a lot of times you buy it under Canteen Creek because that way it gave you 30 days to pay for it
I said that, yes.
versus Leonard Black.
Right, that was, but I guess I didn't say that. Yeah, I don't know.
You don't remember?
I said that, yeah, I said that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like you didn't know.
Well, I don't know that I said I didn't know or didn't know, you know.
Leonard, you're playing with me now.
No,
Come on.
I'm
now.
not trying to be honest with you.
You're playing with me.
I'm not. I thought I was doing everything honest. I thought I was paying for that with my own cash on my credit
Right,
card,
and
I did do that.
and
I'll
I'm-
admit that now that I look back on it, it was a mistake that I did that. I thought it would have all worked out the same. I used the credit and I went ahead and did whatever I could do, you know, and then went from there.
It's just a prime example. I'm sure when you purchased this, you felt, well, since I'm paying my own cash, you know, and I use a lot of this stuff, this way I got 30 days to pay for it versus just Leonard Black. How long would Leonard Black get to pay for it?
Well, I don't know that they'd give me that much credit without going through the
Right, filling out an application
Right.
and all that other stuff. But you knew
this way.
Canteen,
Another
they're
30
going to
days.
give me 30 days to
Right, that's what I thought.
get your financing together.
That's what I thought.
Plus, the added benefit is you get a government discount of $983.92.
But I think I think that they should not have done that to me. I think that they're wrong in doing that to me. They deceived me.
Did you ever ask him to take that off?
No, and you know, I sign stuff, and I, you know, you say I'm smart and all that, but I don't a lot of times look at things. I sign credit cards and stuff, and I don't really look what they are on there. And I'd probably do the same thing. I seen this, and I traded my tractor in. I know I got hooked on the deal. I traded a $30,000 tractor in, gave them $6,000 or $5,000 or $8,000, whatever was the difference. And I figured I was getting kind of taken in the first place.
What's the owner's name of Herb Equipment?
I know I don't know his name. I would know if you tell me.
I don't remember his name right
I don't
offhand.
know.
You
I
remember
had
talking to? Let's see. I know you dealt with. Let me see here. With Bruce, right? Cap.
Mm-hmm.
He's the. What does Bruce do for him?
Bruce, I believe, runs their shop or whatever.
Yeah, he's the
Superintendent.
service manager.
Yeah.
In fact, didn't you have a bit of a falling out with? You get a little upset with Bruce over some warranty work or some
Yes, I did.
repair work.
I did.
In fact, you haven't done much business with him
Yes.
since then, have you?
Well, I've done a little, but because
Nothing like you
well,
was.
plus, though, my tractors haven't broke down. They're newer tractors that haven't
Yeah.
broke down. I was very upset because I thought they should warranty that tractor. After they fixed the problems of it, it's not caused me any problem.
Right.
We didn't have a disagreement with it.
But
I think that's human nature. Everybody would do the same
oh,
thing.
sure, no, that don't make you bad.
Yeah.
Just because you have a disagreement with someone. But what I was going to tell you, Leonard, you have the reputation there, being a pretty shrewd dealer.
Well, that's what I guess what they say. It's up to them. I don't know what. You know why? I can tell you why.
You're a pretty shrewd trader. What piece of equipment was you wanting to buy, and you kept asking them about it? In fact, they still have it, I think.
Oh yeah, and we demonstrated it too.
What piece was that?
I can name the name. We took it out and demonstrated. Their salesman brought it out on the levee out here and tried it. We thought it would work. Yes, we did do. I thought it would work myself.
And they still have it.
That's
In
right.
fact, but you still inquire, but
I
they're
still
too
do.
high on it,
That's
right?
I'll never buy it after we tried it out on the levee. I thought it would be a mower that would be good for hills. That's what it's made for. But when we took it out here on the levee, they demonstrated it. The tires were too small, and the ruts would get in the ruts. It would hang up. Yes, that was they took a beating on that tractor, and they tried to give it to me. Then they took and painted it all up and fixed it all up and did this, that, and then tried to sell it to me, and And you're right.
But you're known as a pretty shrewd
Well, I
business
try to watch
person.
my prices or whatever, or buy or whatever. Certainly.
Well, Leonard, you just said I try to watch my prices and everything when you buy stuff,
Yeah.
and it makes me tend to believe then, as shrewd as you are and as much as you tend to watch your prices, there's no way in hell you didn't see the government discount on this, and you didn't notice there was any sales tax.
When you say that's shrewd that way, I say that when I sign, I'm not shrewd at. A lot of times I've signed things I should have not signed. Now, as far as you trying to sell me something, I may compare your prices and see, but that way I try to be shrewd, but then they catch me on the other end.
But see, I think you watch every penny go out and you watch every penny come in. And you mean to tell me, Leonard, you didn't realize there was a $983.92 government discount on this last piece of equipment, this Turf Tiger that you bought and paid with your own personal funds? You didn't notice this government discount?
No, I did not notice it. No, I did not notice it. I thought that was an honest, legitimate deal because of the tractor I traded it in. I thought that you talk about being shrewd, I thought that they didn't give me enough money for my tractor, and I was kind of
Well, we always feel that.
Well, not always, but then I just probably signed, so let's get it going and went on. That's probably how that
Okay.
happened.
Did you notice there wasn't any sales tax on there?
No, I did not notice that.
Didn't notice that at all.
Because I thought it was their responsibility. Now that you're telling me this, I think it's their responsibility. They shouldn't be allowed to do that. They knew that I bought that tractor myself.
Who knew?
Well, their salesman or whoever the fellow
Randy
was.
knew that.
He should have known that. I mean, I think they're.
Why should Randy have known that? Did you tell Randy, I'm buying this for me? I'm buying
Yes.
this for me. I'm not buying this for the creek.
Yes.
When he wrote this up, did you tell him, hey, wait a minute,
Well,
Randy, you put Canteen Creek. No, I'm buying this. This isn't the creeks.
I use it because of the credit part of it, and that's why he probably wrote it in Canteen Creek. That's how I'm assuming that he did it. And I thought everything was on the up and up, and everything was.
How many of these purchases were for Leonard Black and not Canteen Creek?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't. I really can't. You got a pair of glasses or something? Something I can
Reading
see
glasses?
Some, wait a minute. I think I can see some of it, but
I
how many
think-
do I think? How many's on here now? Just tell me how many's on here. About.
I haven't
20?
counted them up,
Okay,
Leonard.
I can't.
In fact, let me go. I've got some reading glasses in my desk.
Well,
Why don't,
yeah.
because I don't want you to be at a disadvantage here.
No, that's right. I would have to say that without looking clearly, and we're not going to. Yeah, I'd have to say.
Well, now you're going to say clearly. I'm going to go get you some
Uh,
reading glasses, Leonard. I'll be right back. You look that over.
As a board member, are you paid or unpaid?
We're paid.
How much are you paid?
We get $200 a month. Yeah, but it's 200. Could be wrong. I think it's $200.
Okay.
We get it. Yeah, I should have brought my glasses around.
Well, just from the way you were talking earlier, it sounds like the vast majority of that stuff is for you, not for the. I mean, you don't have hardly any equipment for the creek, do you?
Oh yeah, all that stuff is. I mean, all the saws. I don't.
Well,
you
the
may think
saws.
that stuff, trimmers and saws, not that we don't. I don't.
I understand like the chainsaws and that kind of thing.
They
But I
have
mean-
equipment. Those Bechtels and that is theirs. The Sabertooth I told you is mine, and I can see. But some of the trimmers, like I said, we can't get them going, and just get another one. And then they're there. I'm not even worried about that.
Yeah, we're going to go through each one though and say, okay,
Yeah,
this
well,
is
you're
this is
welcome.
the.
Well, you're going to do it, but you're welcome to do it. You come in and look at what I want.
Yeah, but what we're going to need to do is go through each item and we're going
Yeah.
to say, okay, a steel
See,
blower.
these will help you out any.
Yeah, I think so.
That make it a little better?
Oh yeah, these are good.
Okay. We're the full service police here, Leonard.
If we can just start at the top and
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't you just come on? I wish I could not do it today. But why don't you just come on by and see what you think is mine, what's ain't mine, and we'll pick it apart and go from there. I guess.
Well, we can go over there and you can tell me which one's yours and which one's isn't.
Well, I'd say the ones that are mine are the ones that aren't theirs. They're aren't here, I guess. That's the only way I would know. That's the only way I'd know. Because that's the only way I would know to do it. Maybe just go through the stuff and see what's theirs and what's mine, and then what's mine's mine, what's theirs is theirs. We'll try to separate it apart or get the numbers or whatever.
well, just like the top item, the steel handheld blower.
Right.
That's yours, correct?
Well, it's both of ours.
But you use it in your lawn business.
I've used it, yes.
Who paid for it?
Canteen Creek paid for it.
Okay. But you use it.
Well, I have used it.
Okay, now down to the second one. That's we'll just go right down the list.
Chainsaws, John Deere's, downstairs, I should there, the brush cutters. They're there. The Skag, we know about that. John Deere, trimmers are theirs, that's theirs.
You're mumbling, Leonard. We're not going to be able to understand that, so. What's theirs and what's yours?
Well, I think I can tell you that almost is theirs.
How about on, let's do this way. On 4998, one John Deere 60-inch deck, it's $2,115, and one mulch kit.
I don't recall that. Oh, I don't recall that.
That'll be on 4/9 of 98.
Okay.
Well, for numerous years, did you mow the area with the John Deere, or what'd you use to mow with it?
What area?
The creek.
Well, we used those. That might have been used. I'm not sure. That had to be back a ways. Did you say back a ways?
98. You bought it in 98.
We could have used that on that levee, and I use that at the cemetery also. That's one.
The John Deere deck,
Yeah.
did you ever use it on your commercial jobs too?
Well, not very often because we don't use that.
Didn't ask you how often. Do you
I
ever?
wouldn't say never, never, but I'd have to say probably. I can't remember when we used it on a regular job. We use it at the cemetery.
Okay, this Shindawa trimmer that was bought on June 11th of 98. It's a Shindawa trimmer. You use Shindawa trimmers on your commercial jobs as well?
I have used it all.
So there's a good chance that you probably used it on your commercial jobs as well?
That would, like I said, it could possibly be used on it.
Okay. How about the Manda's tiller?
That's the one I'd say that's not right. I have to figure out whether I do something with that. That one there, I don't know why that.
How about the sweeper?
Sweeper.
Let me find the receipt.
That was a sweeper.
Like a lawn sweeper?
Once again, Randy.
Yeah. I had to pay for that. They don't ever use it on Canteen Creek. I had to pay for that.
Well, I'm sure you paid for a lot of these things on your
Yeah.
own, but it was
Yeah.
ran under Canteen Creek.
I don't know why.
No
That
tax.
That was a piece of used equipment. I don't think there's a tax on used equipment.
I don't know.
I don't really know. See, that was a piece of used equipment. I got that there.
But when you buy a used car, do you pay tax on it?
I don't know. I guess you do, don't you? Or,
I think you do.
okay.
If
I
you
don't-
buy a 6-year-old house, do you pay taxes on it?
Really? Okay. Well, I guess, I mean, I did, but that's mine.
Okay, so the sweeper is yours, the Manus tiller is yours. In fact, the sweeper was $1,000, right?
I think it was, yeah.
What kind of sweeper is that?
It's Olita, called the brand name's Olita.
What does it do? Is it for like pavement?
Not
Clean pavement?
exactly, it's for yard, it throws stuff up.
Oh, like dethatching?
Yeah, but it's like a golf cart type thing, and it doesn't suck them up, it's a sweeper, pushes them up in the back with the chute, and you can dump it out like.
Oh, for picking up grass clippings and
That's
thatch?
not clippings, they don't use much for clippings.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's like, I use it for once in a while, I mean, for gumballs, for maple trees or whatever, the gumballs or whatever. Or
The little
when
nodules.
But yeah, they make a mess, but it's not a vacuum, but anyway.
Okay. And then you got another Shindawa trimmer on June 28th of '99.
Well, I'm assuming I got them, yes, I guess I got them, I'm not sure.
And then the backhoe mowers, you've never used those on any
Don't use
commercial
them, no.
operations.
No.
Then you got the Border Edger kit. That was purchased on 4/19 of 2000.
See, I don't know what that is, or where it would fit in, I don't know that one.
Okay. Then you bought a gas edger on 05/18 of 2000. Then there was the John Deere mower on June 2nd of 2000. See the John Deere mower, June 2nd, 2000.
That gas edger, it's something you'd use in your commercial business, isn't it?
Well, I've got a couple of them.
The John Deere was the JX75.
I don't know anything about that.
Then the Shindawa trimmer on July 31st. On that one trimmer we talked about the 75. I think that one was signed by Mr. Davis. Remember,
Possible.
you know, it's a little rear-driven one.
Rear.
You know,
Cart.
you know, it's a little. It's more like a home mower.
You're talking about it. You said the trimmer, a cart, wasn't it? A cart?
No, the SS7. I think it's JX75. It's a small John Deere trimmer. Let me find this.
He's talking about that one you said you never owned a walk behind.
Oh, yeah, I don't know about that. I really don't.
No, this isn't a walk behind. The one I'm talking about. That one was signed by Davis. Where's the walk behind?
Does Jerry mow the Creek District?
Well, we take turns. If it gets a little higher, we just both go over there or whatever. It's kind of a volunteer thing. Till then we get somebody to take care of it.
Where's Jerry Davis live?
A botanical.
In Caseyville?
Yeah.
But he was appointed by Madison County.
Yes. Yes,
But he lives in St. Clair County?
Well, he did live in on Black Lane when he was appointed, and then I don't know what happened. He moved into Kaysville.
How long ago did he move into Caseyville?
I am not sure. 3-4 years ago, maybe. I'm not real sure. probably that long.
You know, here's the amazing thing. You remember when we were talking about that sweeper,
Yeah.
Leonard?
Yes.
Look at the heading on that.
Why did they have it mid scratched out of that? I don't know. I have no idea. I see that.
You know, then it was scratched out and put Canteen Creek Drainage. Randy was the salesman again. In fact, I noticed most of the time you bought stuff from Randy.
I guess I got to know him through the years. Maybe I see. Yeah, he was a salesman there. I think when I worked at the county, he called on us.
What's Randy going to say when I talk to him?
But I'm not sure. It's, you'll have to see what he says.
Is Randy going to tell me that Leonard asked him to put?
He can say what he wants, but I didn't ask him to put it under that.
But you signed all these bills, right, with
Well, I have no
Canteen
problem
Creek
with
on?
so, yes, my signature.
So what do you think should happen, Leonard?
Well, to be honest with you, I'd like to figure out how to work out of this. And I know you're not the person to talk with, but if I've done something wrong, I would certainly like to do right. And I'll resign off the board. I have no problem with doing that. And then whatever you decide to do with me, I guess I have to do it and pay restitution or whatever. All I want to do is try to live an honest life.
Oh, sure, I understand.
And if they want all this stuff back, take it. You know, that's fine with me, or whoever takes over, take it. I don't want it. I don't want to be involved in something like that.
The thing that alarms me, Leonard, is that, see, I find it hard to believe. Really, I really do, Leonard. You know, and I've been talking to you here for a while now. I find it hard to believe that you didn't know all this stuff was going on and just go along with it. You know, you knew you were getting a break. You knew you were getting a government discount. You knew you were getting a break on taxes, and I think you just went along with it. I mean, it does. It's not like you're going out robbing banks and stuff. I mean, it's like somebody going through the drive-up and somebody gives you $5 too much in change, or a buck back in change more than you should have.
See, you say that, but I really didn't think I was doing anything wrong.
Okay.
And because it's not like I'm fighting to make a living, you know what I mean? I'm supporting my family, and I'm not trying to. Most of my customers I have been with me 15, 20 years, and I'm not trying to be do anything dishonest.
And I'm just saying, you knew it was being done. You may have not did. You may have thought it wasn't being you didn't think you're. I believe you in that you don't think you were being dishonest, but you knew those discounts were on there, and you knew you weren't paying taxes.
I didn't always know they were on there. I really didn't. I mean, I don't know how it works. I mean, you go up there right now and then argue with them, and they give you a 20% discount. You know, they put it on there. I don't know how it works and all that stuff.
So if you were sitting there haggling over that $15,000 mower, and you guys bigger back and forth, and you finally say, okay, $15,000. I write up all the paperwork and I give it to you, and it says $17,500. You just sign it, and you look at what you're signing, don't you?
That was a peculiar situation on that track, and I'll tell you why. Because that mower was worth a lot of money, and they couldn't sell it. Nobody wanted it or whatever.
That's what I'm
saying. They had to come down and get it and look it over, and I was kind of glad to get rid of it, no matter what happened to me. And I just
Leonard,
I didn't haggle over this.
Take a step back and look at it from my side, okay? You bought a tractor, and you guys haggled over the price, and it's a substantial amount of money, really, $15,000.
Right.
Okay. Now, are you telling me that if they would have added that much to the price, that you wouldn't have noticed it?
Normally, I would say you're right, but on this particular tractor, I would have given them another $500 or so to get rid of it. I was that anxious to get rid of that tractor.
How about the other tractor?
Well, I don't know about this. I just thought about
Uh-huh.
that.
Well, I'm just saying, there's. It's not like
Yeah.
it happened just. If it
Yeah.
happened just once, I could maybe
Yeah.
say Leonard had a bad day, but
Well,
it
a
happened.
bad
It
day, I
happened
just
quite a
wanted
few
to-
times.
I just wanted to get rid of it, with the bad day and what it
You
cost
see,
me. I just had
and we want to be able to go in there and say, "Hey,
Yeah.
Leonard was honest with us." And
Yeah.
right now, I think you're trying to, and you're kind of half honest, and you're sticking your big toe in the water. But you need to really come clean and say, "Hey, if I did know," and let
I
us
didn't
know.
know, really. I mean, I've tried to tell you the truth of everything I've got that I'm doing here. I didn't really know. That's what I was
You know,
saying.
Leonard, a lot of times people are normally honest.
Right.
You know, and quite frankly, I think you're normally a very honest person. And in fact, I think you thought you were being honest in doing this. I really believe you didn't think there was anything wrong in getting the government discount, and I really think you didn't think there was anything wrong in not paying sales tax on this stuff.
Right.
And that's why you went ahead and did it, even though you knew you were paying for it with your own funds.
I would have to say you probably could be right, but I just didn't think that I was doing anything wrong because of the fact that money means something to me, but it doesn't mean that 100 or 200 would bother me. I mean, if they, like that tractor, I mean, it just that I'm not broke. You know, I work every day and I know my tractors and my expenses and stuff. And it's just that I work hard and I try to save my money the best I can so I can retire. And that's just how I feel. I mean, I'm not. If they told me I just bought that Tony Block trimmer the other day for $300 and some for my own in my name.
And where'd you buy that one at?
Bought it from Herb up there. And paid it, and I just went ahead and bought it because I knew I was going to use that trimmer for my own. I knew that was going to be 100% for my own. So,
But see, here's what concerns me, Leonard. You just bought this one the other day.
well, my other
What day?
one's,
What day was it?
Oh, I don't know. This week.
Oh, it was this week?
And I can tell you why I bought it too, because I have a couple of young kids helping me at the cemetery, and the trimmer that I have is always kind of giving me problems. I knew I was going to use it at the cemetery, and every time I'd get them up there or send them up there, they'd quit. So I said, I'm going to get me a new trimmer, and we'll try this and see what happens. And that's how come I bought it and why I bought it.
Leonard,
So-
also, I know you said that you knew that somebody was shopping this material around to the papers or to somebody else trying to get
Shopping.
You're saying this was politics.
You said you knew somebody was complaining against you, basically.
Well, I had a newspaper come to me. That's why I would say it was.
And how long ago was that?
Oh, when was the election?
Okay.
About a month before that, maybe.
Okay. And again, so if you think about, again, look at it from our side of view. For all these years, Leonard, you were buying all your stuff under Canteen. Okay. Now you have somebody from the paper asking you about it. Now all of a sudden you're buying it under Leonard Black.
Well, that wasn't why. Because when the reporter left me, he told me there wasn't any story or whatever, that didn't. You know, I just accepted him for what I thought. I didn't think that would be. I thought I'd get kicked off the board or something because. Anyway, is what I thought.
What I was going to say though, Leonard, when you just bought this trimmer, and when they wrote it up,
I called it in and somebody else picked it up.
picked it up, they
That's
bring
not
you
how
the
I did it.
receipt,
Yes.
and what did you notice on the receipt?
I didn't know. I noticed it was. Well, I didn't really notice anything.
Who was the receipt made out to?
I mean,
It wasn't made out to Canteen Creek, was
well,
it?
it was made out to me because of the trimmers I used up were some of them older ones, and they were just getting all worn and that.
Right.
Oh, I don't.
Not a problem.
Glasses that I could see good with, isn't it?
But what I'm trying to point out to you is though, you looked at the receipt and you noticed that it was made out to Leonard
Yeah.
Black and not to Canteen
You
Creek.
really
and I
look
think
at
you
it.
do that on all the receipts because I think you're pretty shrewd.
No.
I think you pay attention to detail. Because you know why I know you pay attention to detail? Because when I was watching you mow today, I noticed that you guys, you missed a spot where you were trimming, and you stopped and you got back out and you got your trimmers out, you pay attention to detail,
I
don't you?
try to do a good job. That's why I'm in business.
You're a detail.
No, I'm
No,
not. If
sir.
you look at my place and my shop and everything, you will. I told you what an abortion was. Look at my.
Well, that's home.
Yeah.
But when it comes to business,
well, when
you
it comes
pay
to my
attention to
customers,
detail.
Because of my customers, I try to detail it out real good.
And you're the one that brought to our attention that you just bought that trimmer in your name.
Yeah,
You
because
know-
were
you knew
telling
that.
me about
Bingo.
this, right? No, you
But
were
all
telling me
these
about
ones
this.
through all these other years, all these multiple purchases, you just never
But I
looked or
have
paid
a
attention.
lot of more trimmers that we were using beside these, even these. You know, I mean, the ones that they would maybe use at the cemetery were just ones that are worn.
So you just started paying attention to who this sold to was this month, or is that what you're trying to tell us?
The what now? The old,
All the other years, you never looked at paying attention to see who it was being sold to. You or Canteen Creek. You just started paying attention this month.
no, because I knew where this trimmer was going to go exactly.
where, Leonard, where are the books on Canteen Creek?
You'd have to get them from the bookkeeper, J.W. Boyle.
Okay,
Yeah,
but the ledgers and the checks, where are they at right now?
they're in my house.
And those ledgers go back how far?
I don't know. I guess go
Okay.
back to history or to the thing,
Okay.
and then
Do you have any bills coming up in the near future to pay?
no.
All right. What we're gonna go with you, and we're gonna need those.
Okay. All I have is a checkbook.
Right. And we'll need
Because
the
we don't-
checkbook and the listings of what was paid out. We'll
I don't
need all
have
that
I'll
stuff.
tell you where you got to get that from. You got to get that from Boyle. We don't.
You don't keep when you
No.
write a check who you made the check out to?
None. No. Because we don't write such few checks. If you go to J.W. Boyle right now, they will give you everything detailed how it
Would
is.
you go and
Where's
get?
that at?
It's on, and now it's called Frank Scott Parkway, J.W. Boyle and Company.
Okay.
It's their certified accountant. But what we did was, and why we did, because we knew we had such shabby records and didn't do anything right, that we would have somebody professionally watch over it so that.
When was the last time they did an audit or looked at it?
Oh, they're up to date. We like to check with them. Whatever it is, you check with them and then.
But Leonard,
I
you're the
go on.
secretary treasurer.
Well, all I know, all of our farms and that, and all their records, they take care of it. for us.
When a check is written, who signs the check?
Myself and Jerry Davis.
You both sign the checks?
Yes.
Okay. And Jerry Davis lives in Caseyville as well?
In Botanical, yes.
Does Jerry work anywhere else?
I don't think so. I think he's disabled or whatever.
Okay.
Disability or-
How old an individual is Jerry?
I'm gonna guess 55 to 60.
Okay.
He's a military veteran or whatever. He's trying to get disability or whatever.
Okay. And do you think that little John Deere, the XX75, is at his place, or is
I would take
it at the Ball Diamond?
No, I think it's probably his place.
It's at his home.
I would think so.
Does he have a truck?
Yeah, I think he does have a pickup truck.
When you say he's disabled, what's his disability?
I don't know what you call. I think he's got a lot of problems. I don't know how y'all would say, not mental problems, but I mean he has
Right.
health problems. I don't know what his health problems are. I think he has cancer. Maybe.
Okay,
I'm
but
not sure.
but when
he's
to look at him, he
functioning.
gets around pretty good.
Well, he gets around, but not real good. But gets around pretty good. Yeah, I guess. He ride a motorcycle, so I guess he gets around.
Yeah, I guess so. What kind of motorcycle?
I don't know. I'm not into motorcycles.
Okay. All right. Anything else, man? Leonard, a lot of times, and I'm sure you're going to think of things afterwards. I mean, if you think of anything else, you got my card right there.
Well, I'd sure like to answer the best I could.
Okay.
If you got more to me to answer,
Sure.
I'd be-
And what I'm saying is, you got my card right there. If you think of anything else, would you just give me a call? Explanation, or think of anything else, or where other equipment is, or whatever. Plus, I'd like to have the same courtesy if I think of something else I need to
Sure.
ask you, would you be more than happy to
You have
come
my
in?
beaver number. Like I
and-
say, the only way really to
and
get me
assist
most
us?
of the time is by my beaver because I'm out cutting grass and I can't hear my cell phone.
Sure,
I
sure.
have the beaver.
But I want to make sure I get a clear picture of this because, I want to do you right,
Well,
and I want to do the right thing here, like you want to do the right thing, and I want to make sure I understand everything correctly. And there's a lot here, and I'm not sure I understand everything correctly yet. So,
Well, I've tried to be as
Oh, I
fair
know.
as I can,
and we're just
and like
getting
you
into
said, I
this
didn't have to say anything.
investigation.
I could have walked out, but I'm trying to
Well,
tell you what I
I,
think.
you know what? And I appreciate
Yeah, I know.
your help here. I'm sure you want to do the right thing too.
I do want to do the right thing.
And
And
that's
if
all.
I've
we
done
want.
wrong here, I'll tell you. I hope that we can rectify it some way. Whatever happens, I guess I just have to pay penalties or whatever you decide that I've done bad. That's not for you to
It's not.
decide.
I just try to get the facts and get them as clear as I can, and then I report the facts. And then the power's a lot higher than me make those decisions,
Oh, I understand
and so you and I are both working, Steph. So I don't make
I know
those
I am.
decisions. I don't
I've
make
been working
those
since I'm
decisions.
15 years old. So.
The other day, Tuesday, I noticed you had both turf tigers on your trailer. Where were you going to mow last Tuesday?
Last Tuesday.
Just a couple days ago.
Where was I at? And I gotta stop and think. I'd have to probably go home and look. Yeah.
It was in the morning about 9 o'clock. You left and you went out.
Sure was a Wednesday.
Wednesday you had the deer on.
Let's see.
Was
that's-
it Wednesday they had the deer on? No, yesterday was when you had the deer on. Yeah, yesterday I think you had the John Deere on, and you went down. You went over to the stone place over here.
Oh, yeah, I did do that. Yes.
Where'd you
yesterday.
work at yesterday?
I have a customer up in Collinsville, not Collar, out past Laura Buick down there. We're doing some seeding.
Yeah, it may have been Wednesday. You had both turf tigers on there. Where you were doing commercial, you weren't doing anything for the ditch,
No.
were you? When's the last time you did a job? You did anything on the ditch?
I haven't done anything yet this year. We're just getting ready to start it right now.
Okay, so you haven't done any mowing or anything on the levees or
We
anything?
just talked about it, right? Like, just getting ready to start out. The weeds are getting high and complaining.
So the other day when you took both turf tigers with you, you were doing commercial
Just,
stuff.
yes.
And the one turf tiger is definitely owned by the ditch, right?
No. Well, I don't know how you said. The one I used today is owned by me. I feel.
Right.
And the
you-
other one is owned by the city.
Okay.
Not the district, the city.
Okay, and
That was- I was using
and that's
that
the
one.
one you use,
Yeah.
and you use that on commercial
Not
jobs.
very much, but you know,
But
the
Wednesday you
yards,
did.
I did Wednesday. Yeah, I told you I did Wednesday. I
Okay.
sure did.
How many jobs did you do Wednesday?
One.
Okay.
I think I know it, but no, I did one with that. What else would I remember? Yeah, I'll tell you, I'd have to probably go look, but I got home at noon. That was Wednesday? I don't know. I'd have to. You cut a bunch of people, I can't quite remember.
Well, you got too many. How many contracts do you
I
have?
have a lot of them. I just some of them are kind of bigger, and
How many contracts do you have, roughly?
I don't know. I don't really know. Because I
30,
take care
40?
of, well, a lot of time I take care of Holy Cross Lutheran Cemetery. And
You used to do the prison, didn't you?
the prison.
Or the one detention center down there by East St. Louis?
I haven't done that
Southwestern.
Yeah, didn't you used to do Southwestern outside the gates?
No, I do. I just started doing Carl Weiser's now. His mom, right next to the prison right now.
Oh, okay.
I do. Yeah, I do that.
Did you ever work down there at the prison though?
No.
You never did any mowing on the outsides there?
No. No, the only one I ever mowed for, like, I just started that a couple of weeks ago, I think, for Mrs. Weiser down there.
Okay.
I was down there yesterday, Thursday, yeah, I remember that.
Do you have any government contracts?
No. I used to have some county contracts,
Did you?
but I don't have those anymore.
How long ago did you have those?
Last year,
What happened?
I guess they decided to use someone else.
You smile. Why is that?
Well, we know there's some things that brought all this on more than anything, and I got in the middle of something I can't get out of. I got blamed for a lot of stuff over this last election. That
Leonard, you got me at a disadvantage. I'm not from
my
here.
My son run for township board, and he was fortunate enough to win. And I know a lot of people were upset about the election, and I just assumed that that's how things were instigated. You know, that's just what I'm assuming. So, because
I didn't know.
I got, like I said, I get blamed for something that I wasn't involved in. I mean,
So your son is on the St. Clair County
no,
Board?
He's on the Kaysville Township Board.
On the who?
Kaysville Township Board.
Oh, okay.
And I think it was a kind of a bitter election, and upset some people.
Okay.
That's what I'm assuming, you know.
I don't know.
And like I say, I kind of fall to a victim of that. And that's still that's me.
Okay.
Why else would I lose my contracts for the county and stuff like that? Other than, I mean, I did good work or did work.
I don't know.
Prices were fair and square and everything. I didn't cheat them or nothing, you know. But that's okay. You know.
Okay. Anything else you want to share with us or anything?
Not that I know, unless you got something more you want to say to me, or
Nope.
where do I go from here now? What do I do?
We're just gonna follow you to your house and get the books.
The only thing I got to give you would be the checkbook.
Okay.
And there's nothing in it but the blank, but checks. There's not a folder or anything like that.
Okay. You don't have any Canteen Creek.
No.
Register.
No. Well, what you need to do to check everything that you want to check is, because the bookkeeper gets to cancel checks.
You don't have any receipts or anything for Canteen Creek?
Probably not. I don't even keep good record. No, I told you, I'm not a good record keeper.
Well, you see, probably not, but.
I mean, no. I'd say, I don't know what I would have.
Have you made a Canteen Creek charge in the last 30 days?
No.
You haven't purchased anything at
Not that I
Canteen
know, no.
Creek?
Not that I can recall, no.
Okay.
You say J.W. Boyle has that?
Yeah,
How
they
you,
have everything that you want a record wise.
how do you spell Boyle?
Boyle.
Do we need
And what town's that in?
Where,
What town?
it's in Belleville, but you know where West Point Bank is in Belleville?
Okay.
Or something, what is that, the bank, it's, Frank Scott Parkway.
Okay.
You cross Main Street, you go, it's in Copper Bend. You know where Copper Bend is?
Mm-hmm.
That's where it's in that complex.
Do you have the, we're gonna need, if you're willing to sign, an affidavit allowing us to look to access those records.
Sure.
Okay. Would
No
you have a problem
Not at all.
doing that?
Not at all.
And we'll
Sure.
probably need one to look into your own personal financial area as well,
Well, you're welcome to do that too.
to make sure there's no commingling.
That's
You know where
fine.
those
That's what I have no problem with
releases
that.
are?
The only release we'd have similar to be the backgrounds.
Right, and that's what it is.
Alright.
No, I
Might
don't
take me a
have
little
a
bit.
problem with that.
Do you need to go to the restroom or
No, I'm
anything?
fine.
You need some more water or anything?
No, I'm fine. The lips are getting dry. I guess we're talking.
Well, and you're a little nervous. I mean, that's understandable. These things.
Yeah,
These
it's
things.
first time for me. I
You
never-
should be nervous.
Pardon?
These things are a little
Make me
nerve
nervous.
wracking.
I'm nervous about it. I don't know what to do or say. I've never been through this before. I don't know how it works. I've seen it on television. I hate to say when you're in it.
Well, this isn't too bad, is it? I mean, we don't.
Well, I'm
sit
trying
here-
to tell you the truth, and if I didn't tell you the truth, I don't know why I didn't tell you the truth.
Well, Leonard, you don't know me from Adam.
Yeah, I don't know you from there.
You know, and I don't know you from Adam. The first time I ever met you was a little bit ago. So you know, sometimes that's nerve-wracking in itself because you don't know who you're dealing with. It's not like people you growed up with or that you've known in Caseyville for a long time.
Well, I understand that.
You know, so
I
needless to
understand
say,
problems, and I don't know what. I'm certain I got problems, but I don't know what to do right now to.
well, you know, and quite frankly, Leonard, you've sort of. I believe, just from looking at everything, you know, and personally, I believe you knew you were getting a government discount. And I believe you knew you weren't paying sales tax on things that you were going to use for your own personal use.
Yeah, I don't really believe that in a way because it's just that. See, when you check me on it, the money isn't a big problem with me.
Well, no.
You know, I ain't worried about cheating somebody out of $50 or $20. I pay
Well,
all
no.
my taxes, and I pay a lot
Sure.
on my taxes.
Everybody pays all their taxes.
Well, I'm probably one of the most honest mowing guys around. Don't stick all the cash in your pocket. I pay taxes
Sure.
on all my stuff.
You know, I got to give you credit there.
I
Sure.
tell them I want you to send me a check so I can record it, and I've got no problems.
Sure.
That's what I do.
No, I understand that.
I'm not out there taking cash and doing that.
Right.
And
But-
not paying any taxes. I'm not against taxes. I mean, I don't like to pay them more than anybody else does.
If at the very least, I think part of the issue is, Leonard, you saw some of these things being done and you didn't say anything about it.
That could be.
You saw that you were getting a government discount and you saw that it was going under Canteen Creek and you just didn't say anything. You know, that you felt, well, you know, if they're dumb enough to sell it to me under Canteen Creek and not charge me taxes and give me a government discount, then it's on them.
I don't know that I'd say that they're dumb enough. I didn't say that.
So I would just cross.
No.
I
No.
couldn't find. I know what you're looking for. I didn't see them in there. I've used these before.
You didn't see the back.
I know what you're looking for. I didn't see them in there.
Okay.
But what I do is I just X that, cross that out, and the Canteen Creek financials.
Financial records.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
To
Let me
get the
go.
most complete thing is you go to J.W. Ball. He has every detail about this district. And you're welcome to look through it or get it, I'll sign that. But I mean, coming to my house is not gonna be, you're welcome to come there. You can come there whether I'm welcome or not, but I mean,
Right.
you're not gonna see anything but just a checkbook. That's it.
Uh-huh.
Now, he has the details, the canceled checks, he has everything that you'd wanna see.
Now you have to go to graduation.
I wanted to, yeah, I'm going there, but I wanted to go see my dad.
What time is that, sir?
Well, I was gonna be leaving now. But,
Okay.
But no, I'm not gonna, I'll do what you tell me.
No. Wait a minute. No. I'm not gonna make you miss your daughter's grad.
No.
I don't even want you to be late.
No.
What time is your graduation?
It's tomorrow morning.
Oh,
I
okay.
gotta drive 6.5 hours or so to get there.
Okay. And she goes to how old's your daughter?
She's, my granddaughter.
Oh, it's your granddaughter. Okay.
All my kids are married. Well, I guess what is she at? 17 years old
Okay.
from high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll wrap this up here. real
Well,
quick.
I'll take the time to do what you want to do. I mean, what's another hour or something, for,
I'll keep you place of business.
as long
The
as I get out
Canteen
of town.
Creek drainage.
Drainage ditch.
Canteen Creek Drainage District.
In your discussions with the accountant, did they ever mention that, it's not a real good idea using your home address as the address for Canteen Creek?
Well, no, not really. But I'll tell you, I can't impress upon you that this is an unusual arrangement that we had to the fact that it's in 2 counties.
Financial records.
The fact that it's in 2 counties,
Okay.
the fact that it's in 2 counties, it was a district that was defunct.
Oh no,
You know what I mean? And we took it over, and it was. And like I'll tell you, I'm not a trained drainage district person. I didn't know anything about ditches before I got on here.
Neither did I, but I've been learning.
Yeah, I have too. I've learned a lot. Okay, I don't even have one of them.
I know, I got this off the internet.
Oh,
Legislature's
okay.
Guide to Local Government in Illinois, Special Districts.
Okay,
This tells you, all Canteen Creek, all the, levy districts in the state of Illinois.
I know they're run different than the regular one, yeah.
Let's see. Drainage districts,
Yeah.
page 14. In fact, it even tells you what drainage districts can do, what they can't do, and what
Right.
they're about, and all that stuff.
Right.
Canteen Creek Drainage District is listed under Madison County. It's not even listed under
That could be
St.
because of
Clair.
Old County, yeah.
But it says the county clerk serves as chairman of the district, and the county treasurer as district treasurer.
I know nothing about that. It's, that would have had to be set up above me. It would have had to do that.
And it says governing boards, board of commissioners, 3 members serve staggered 3-year terms.
See, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah.
That's above me. That would be up to the county level, how they appoint us and
Okay.
so forth.
This is basically a consent to search. It says I, Leonard Black, hereby grant my consent to officers of the Illinois State Police and other law enforcement officers assisting them to search the following: place of business known as Canteen Creek Drainage District, all financial records from J.W. Boyle or any other entities who may have financial records regarding the drainage district.
That's fine.
Okay, if you agree with that, would you date and time? The time is 2:02. 2:02
2:02
p.m.
p.m.
And then your signature goes right there, sir. And if down here you would put Secretary Treasurer, Canteen Creek Drainage District.
That's what I'm. Okay.
Secretary Treasurer of and then right of the Canteen Creek. How far did you go in school, sir?
11th grade.
Okay. I forgot to ask that at the start of this.
No, I think you did say something earlier about
The 4 or 5.
graduated or something like that.
Yeah.
I said I got a GED in it. I feel like those rules there, that I don't, that would be up to the attorney. They set it all up. And how
Sure.
they set it up, I have no idea. I just followed that part of it.
Sure, I understand.
And I don't have any authority to set a district up.
Oh, right. There are provisions there where the landowners and all that stuff and
I know
all
it's
kinds of
different.
things.
I know that the drainage districts are a lot different than municipalities and so forth.
Right.
I do know that. What the differences are, I don't know.
Okay. Anything else, Matt? Okay, it is now 2:03 p.m. on Friday, May 13th, 2005. We'll be concluding the interview with Leonard Black at this time. If you'll sit tight while I go stop the player.